Hey guys, welcome back. And finally, Transformers Rise of the Beast. Here are our thoughts, guys. I really liked this movie, but I didn't think I was going to because of the whole Bay stuff. But for anybody who hasn't seen it yet and has seen the Bay movies, this has nothing to do with those movies, thankfully.
Yeah, this is off of the Bumblebee story. Continuing off of that, just a bit of a disclaimer. Edward is a huge Transformers fan. So if you are a big Transformers fan, you're going to probably agree and gravitate a lot more towards his opinion. I am not. I have seen the first Transformers movie, and the third or fourth, and Bumblebee. That's all I've seen. And my thoughts of the movie are very different from Edward's. I didn't like the movie. I didn't think I was going to like the movie. I was pretty bored about halfway through it. I thought 2 hours has passed when only an hour has. I like the characters. The characters were great. I thought that they were fun to watch. I really liked the character Noah and his brother that they introduced. I liked Mirage. As always, I like Bumblebee. I thought he was funny, and given that some time has passed since the first Bumblebee movie, I thought they did a pretty good job, especially with Bumblebee starting to watch movies. I thought that was very funny. But I think it started to lack with the plot in that this story didn't seem like the natural story progression after watching Bumblebee. This wasn't the story that I was expecting to come out given that.
No, like Griff said, I mean, I had a great time. As he stated, I am a big Transformers, the original 1984 Transformers, and also Beast Wars. I remember when Beast Wars came out, my brother and I would like rush home from school and sit down and with our sisters, and we would watch the hell out of it, all three seasons of it. And when I first heard about this movie, I was like, oh, they're gonna fuck this up. But I've thought that about every Transformers movie, and to sit there and watch Cheetor on the big screen with Bumblebee and Optimus Primal and Optimus Prime together is there's a series on Netflix that ties some of this stuff together. Go check that out. The things I can tell you that I didn't care for were at the beginning it's a bit slow. It's a little slow. It was for me. I was just like, okay, yeah, I get it. Human introduction. Let's get it. Where are our guys? And then after that, you know, it's a little fun when they introduce Mirage and some of the stuff that he does. He is fun. Noah's character is interesting. There's a situation there going on with his brother that makes it a little bit more intriguing. And then when he meets the Autobots, it takes us a little bit to meet the Maximals, but when you meet them, you're like, okay, got it. They look awesome. When they do maximize transform, it looks really dope. The end battles all over the place. Big CGI giant space robot battle. It's awesome. I will say this, and Griffin and I always speak a little bit before we get into our reviews. One of the things I really liked and I was really scared for was Unicron. You guys all remember Fantastic Four, the sequel, when Galactus is just like some big stupid ass cloud. I was so scared for that, man.
Yeah, and I didn't like Unicron, but I thought exactly what you thought. I was like, oh yeah, this is Galactus. This is just straight up Galactus. But I just don't think this movie was terribly well written. I didn't like the fact that despite this being a Transformers movie, they they didn't really do too much besides just fight. It was always humans that were developing the plot, even though all the technology, everything's coming from the Maximals or Transformers. The humans are always there just furthering the plot, and it kind of limits how the Transformers interact. It just doesn't give them the same sort of impact that I think they needed. It almost seemed like they decreased the powers of the Transformers and the Maximals just so they could have an excuse to involve humans and have them be useful. There's one character in this that is just a plot device and is just there just to further the plot along and doesn't really do anything else. I think that as the movie continued to go on, they just relied on the same sort of things instead of developing these characters or doing new things. It's just same old stuff, same old plot lines, very little character growth towards the end. It was just instead of it being like one event caused this to this to this. It was like this event happened and then this event happened and then this and then this event happened instead of like a natural story progression.
Yeah, so you guys are getting two very opposite opinions here, but that's why, we're two different people. We have different likes and dislikes. He's giving you a more,
Analytical.
I guess, yeah, perspective of it. My perspective is, very much fanish nostalgia. But even at that, if this movie had sucked for me, I would tell you this because I can tell you about some of the Bay movies. I like the first one. I like the second one. It all went to shit from there. I know a lot of people don't like the second one. I did. I do really like Bumblebee. This one is up there for me. I really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to the end, see what they're gonna do next. They can go, backwards, they can go forwards. I really want a Beast Wars movie, just Beast Wars with Maximals and Predacons. I desperately want to see that. And then with that, you guys would finally get what you want, which is there shouldn't be any humans or very, very little human interaction. The CGI in this movie is fantastic. I've heard a lot of people complain about a lot of CGI.
I'm one of them. There was a couple of parts where it was a bit iffy, but overall I thought it was pretty good.
I thought the CGI here was really, really good compared to a lot of movies that have come out this year. Yeah, I'm excited to see what comes next. I had a little bit of complaints. I'm not going to go into them because then that's spoiler territory. Stay to the very end. Let us know your thoughts. Go check it out. Tell us what your thoughts on this are.
Yeah, one last thing before we wrap up is this movie did set up two sequels. One of them came out of left field. I don't know why they are involving this group, and it just seemed a bit weird. Like when you first get it, it's like, oh, this is pretty cool. That's cool. Then you think about it some more, and it's like, why why do we need this again when we have proven time and time again that this doesn't work?
I'm not gonna address that because that's spoiler territory. But once you guys watch it, let us know what your thoughts on this. My final thoughts on this movie is I had a great time. I was there with my kid watching Transformers. I watched it as a kid. I watched it as a teenager, and now I'm watching it as an adult. I hope what they do is, as Griff said, I will say this. I hope they further develop the story and get a good writing team because it does get lazy at times. It is kind of like introduction, fight, 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 but there is very little character development, which I can't go into because I'll spoil the shit out of stuff for you guys. But Transformers: Rise of the Beast, go check it out, and we'll catch you guys next week for The Flash.
Thank you guys for watching. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know what you thought about this movie in the comments. And there is one mid-credit scene at the very beginning of the credits, so make sure to stay for that. We'll see you guys next week.